Hi, Twone. Thank you for joining this call.
Yes, for inviting me to do this podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, really amazing to talking with you.
yeah. Thank you so much for accepting it because it was such a luck. Like I met you on the table while eating breakfast, and then suddenly I explored this treasure that is you, and I'm like, yay, very happy.
Yeah,
Um,
it's also my lucky because I really like Japanese and I think you like a bridge that combine the people, yeah, from this culture and the Japanese culture.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that comment. Today, we are doing this podcast actually from Network State School in Forest City, and um, today I invited a very cool person, and I think she's a genius in her own way. Like from genomics, her expertise comes genomics, artificial intelligence, and now crypto. Like very different world, I think, everything, but
Yeah.
somehow interlapping. And then she even translated a famous book, Greenpilled, in Chinese, in Mandarin. And today I just have the pleasure to talk to her about her career experience and everything. You mentioned when we were chatting 2 days ago, like you were working in the biggest genomics firm in China called BGI. What was your role there? What were you working exactly in this field?
Yeah, thank you. And actually, I come from a political economy background, which has nothing to do with biotech. My journey with BGI happened in a very interesting way. Just all beginning at the visit to the China National Bank. And this is operation that, and this is an organization that operated by the BGI. And as soon as I got there, I suddenly saw a very giant mammoth sculpture. And this
Mhm.
is a verse that internal life through preservation. Yeah, the story behind this sculpture is because the scientist has found a completed baby mammoth and it persuaded in ice. And through gene and stem cell technology, these scientists will helpfully can create a mammoth. So they want to, if the technology develop very fast, so they can find an elephant to become his mother, to possibly become bring
Wow.
back this. So
Mhm.
that's me think, oh, it's very amazing. This gene bank, just like the China's own North Ark, so it
Mhm.
can persuading plants and animals and all these species around the world.
Sorry to interrupt you. So your role was
Mhm.
firstly like in the Chinese National Bank somehow? Like
I joined the BGI Genomics because I visit the gene bank. But yeah, but the BGI because the working just throughout the nationwide of the whole China and government project division.
Mhm.
So my background is political economics, right? So
Wow.
I'm responsible for the nationwide genetic screening programs.
Yeah. And how you ended up on preserving genes. That's very funny how you could
Yeah, I just helping the different province.
Mhm.
So yeah, like to enhance the cooperation with the BGI and the government so that we can better help them to preserve all these species in the dream.
During BGI, you mentioned you were doing or you were helping the team to do some offering prenatal packages for screening tests for genes. Can you tell a little bit about that? Is it like now widespread in China when you are pregnant, for example, to do testing for to check like if your child has any autoimmune disease or any other type of issues? How is the scenario or the scene at this moment as compared to before as well?
Yeah, in China, the pregnant women usually have to undergo some prenatal checkups,
Yeah.
and yeah, part of that include the germ signal screening. And
Mm-hmm.
but however, the traditional screening methods sometimes give some false positives or false negatives, so it's not so accurate. Yeah, so the gene testing method, like the NIPT that
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking before, this is called the non-invasive prenatal genetics testing.
Is it done by
because
blood test or
yeah,
uh,
just to pick up the mother's blood, not do some possible harm to the baby.
okay.
So yeah, it can easy to detect if we have some dangerous with the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially some genetic issues. So it's a safer, more safe way. And if there is a better option for the same price,
Oh,
yeah,
so it's like a groundbreaking technology or kind of research, I would like to say. Now, many women who are pregnant can access this test easy in China as well. And
yeah. And sometimes if we cooperate with the governance
Mhm.
of the province, sometimes it's free for every people.
Oh, really?
So yeah, yeah. So it's like a public goods.
That's pretty good. You offer it for free. I think in Japan you need to pay this, and even now in Malaysia, I checked a little bit about this test, and it costs like $500 or something, maybe more or less.
Oh,
But it's a very expensive test, but maybe it's very good to do it if you're pregnant.
yes, yes, because that's the meaning that we cooperate with the government because government have some fundraising for all these health products.
Mm-hmm.
So when we persuade the governments that this is very important to make this in the screen methods. So if government agreed, yeah, that they will give some money to support this program so that all the ordinary people can use this for free.
So you just helped the program to spread better in China, or did you also like formulate it how the test should be, or like or something like that?
Yeah, usually I just became the bridge that BGI to the government.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
so yeah, yeah, because I'm not very professional for the blood test. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so, yeah,
You are
another people will do
economic
that.
background. I'm not thinking you are a scientist now. Science, oh, maybe,
Yeah,
but yeah. Okay. I didn't know much about BGI, but it looks like a very big company and like a public. I think it's now public. How do you say public traded in Shenzhen, and they have so many branches around China as well, and
yeah,
one of the biggest genomics company in the world currently. So it's very cool to see how they are doing it and how preserving genes can actually help maybe in the future for something. I also read a little bit about BGI. I don't know if I can ask this question. It might be like controversially, and I'm not trying to get you in trouble or anything, but I read somewhere that they also had like they're helping a lot with COVID-19 of testing and research. Were you part of the company at the time when they were doing this thing or not really?
yes. Yes, it's a very hard time and a very precious time for me because BGI play a very major role during the COVID-19
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, especially for the testing. Yeah, because in my personal notes and I just come back to the company like on during the time in the traditional Chinese Spring Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember very clearly is the day in the 2020 and yes, and even though I know the part of the department's people to do the infection testing, but I also do the very hard work, yeah, to help process all the samples. So back then, our protective gear was very pretty basic. Not the years later, people have very better equipment. We just wear
Okay.
the
So in the
regular mask
beginning,
and shoot.
okay, yeah.
And our frontline colleagues were running back and forth between hospitals every day to deliver test samples with barely any rest. So it was really a tough time, but I
Mhm.
also feel very strong sense of
Mhm.
the responsibility
Yeah.
because we're literally racing against the virus.
Hmm. Yeah, it's I think, and especially like being in a front line, not from the doctor perspective, but from a laboratory perspective. Like you have to analyze blood and you have to pick up daily and test and bring it. It puts you in some type of health hazard. But on the other hand, I think you were one of the first few people who could understand more about COVID than anybody else.
Yes. And BGI also supply testing equipment and kits worldwide. just helping many multiple countries combat the pandemic. They build a Huoyan. It's called the Fire Eye Labs, which
Mm-hmm.
were very high throughput testing facilities and capable for handling a massive number of samples in a short amount of time.
So
Basically,
different laboratories everywhere in China or also in the world, you mean?
yeah, in
Oh,
the
okay.
worldwide, yeah,
Nice.
first in the China and then they go to the whole world.
Yeah. After that, you mentioned to me that you moved to Alibaba. You were working with them on the department of Alibaba Health. Your role, if I understood correctly, was you had to build knowledge base map with using AI or something like that.
Yes.
How exactly? Can you explain a little bit the process? What you exactly did and what was the
Mhm.
project about?
Yeah. Then the logic graph is the ladder of AI process. Yeah, because when we talking about AI, you have to build a model of AI and you have to give lots of data to the
Yeah.
AI to train the model so
Hmm.
they can have more accurate answer to every people like GPT and other things.
Hmm.
So when we building the knowledge graph, where you just connect different knowledge, different points together, so they become a graph. And we have to watch this data because there's some false information there and some
Hmm.
unimportant knowledge in there. And we give to the model, and so we can train the AI model more accurate.
What type of knowledge did you feed the AI? Like, what exactly was the data? Was it some related to health? But what exactly to health? Like,
Yeah, in the health fields, you have the different professional fields.
mhm.
Yeah, the medical part and like the general health part, like the biotech part. Yeah, so
So
we have
body different for different parts
yes,
of body. We have a different special doctor. That's what you mean. Yeah.
yes, yes, and these professional colleagues they will do the professional parts to accumulate this kind of data, and they can train the AI models as well.
Okay. And then after you put this data, the model in the end of AI, what would exactly do? Help the Alibaba consumers or buyers to choose better products for them or
Because I joined the Ali Health during the COVID period, because in the period of time, people cannot go home and especially go to the hospital very easy. So lots of people they choose just to go to hospital online to ask some questions to doctor. So
Mhm.
it shortened the time to communicate with the doctor, especially when you have to wait so much long time in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
yeah in the hospital, and this is reduce the risky to interact with the people.
Is it like a
So
AI doctor somehow? Hey, I have a headache or I'm feeling sick, and the
mhm.
AI doctor tells me, "Oh, you might have COVID," or I don't know, you might have this and this.
Yeah,
Something like
yeah,
that. Oh,
actually,
okay. Kind
yeah,
of a chat
just like this.
GPT, but for Alibaba Health.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's why I joined the Ali Health to do the knowledge graph, because as the very fast development of the entire
Mhm.
internet hospital, and they want to make the internet hospital more accurate and can more rapidly respond to the people who have the needs. So we build the knowledge graph as a fundamental to the internet hospital. Yeah, because with the knowledge graph as an engine, the
Mhm.
future medical brains will be capable for the transforming how we do health related tasks like intelligent Q&A and disease diagnosis.
Yeah. Did it give accurate diagnosis or what was the ratio of being correct as compared to normal human doctor and AI doctor? Was it some difference or not really?
Yeah, I think because for nowadays, I think human doctors are very important. They are not replaceable because they have more experiments.
Mm-hmm.
Because humans' body are very difficult. Yeah, like I had a headache.
Hmm.
Maybe it is not about my hand. Maybe it's about I don't have a very good mood. And
Yeah,
also,
where you are
yeah,
dehydrated, for example.
yes, yeah, even I'm in periods, I often feel dizzy or I'm not very comfortable. So like AI just can just to do some basic work, like
Hmm.
to ask some basic questions. But the knowledge graph can improve the accuracy and it can save time for the true doctors.
Okay. So the normal doctors see the AI doctor and think, so maybe this diagnosis is correct or not. And if it's
Mm-hmm.
not, maybe he
Yeah,
removes
it
it.
can double check.
Oh, okay. That's very
Yeah.
interesting. Has AI in China, especially like in medical field, it's a new thing now as a trend, or it has always been something companies, private sector, or even public sector have been researching?
Yeah, because I first go into AI 3 and 4 years ago, but
Hmm.
back then AI was already being applied in several fields, but
Hmm.
it's not like as widespread and deep fast as it's now. Yeah, because the advantage in computer power and the model development,
Hmm.
AI grows so fast. Like we
Yeah.
have DACC and EACC and Musk talking about all this time. We have robots. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So in healthcare, AI's impact has become especially big in the last few years.
Hmm.
Yeah, companies like BGI and Alibaba Health has already been exploring how to apply AI for things like medical data analysis and
Hmm.
disease prediction and drug development.
Okay.
But yeah, but at the beginning, AI was mostly just used for image recognition and
Oh, okay.
genomic data analysis in basic research or to assist in clinical diagnosis. But as
Very-
the tech advanced, I think the
Sorry.
application expanded to things like helping doctors perform surgeries, smart diagnosis systems, and even the telemedical.
So I came across, because I'm also very interested on AI, and I was reading about Japan actually and how AI has been developing in medical field. And in Japan, apparently, when Shinzo Abe was at the time in power, he in 2010, mid 2010, he put like a budget for developing AI in medical field, because Japan has a declining birth population and inclining of elderly people. So
Yeah,
we wanted to do AI assistant or some AI hospitals. I'm not so sure how is it going currently, but there are many cool projects going on now with AI and detecting cancer, for example, or detecting babies' cries and so on. So I am very positive and bullish on AI on medical field, especially. This is something that excites me a lot. I'm happy.
yeah. Don't die. Maybe longevity is the future.
Yeah, maybe Brian Johnson will do an AI version of Don't Die for Human. Can I go now to the third part, which is crypto? You said something that you are doing some public funds, public good community funds, or something like that. Can you tell to people like me who have no idea what are public funds? Like
Oh,
public funds or public goods? Wait, the question is public goods. Sorry. Yeah.
yes. Like in the traditional definition, public goods is a very fundamental definition in the economic.
Hmm.
And but the traditional public goods like the park and the lighthouse, all these things, all people can have and they can consume it and not to worry about other people will take off it. So this is some traditional public goods and it usually provided by the government and the big companies. And
For example, in
yeah,
crypto, what is a public
yeah.
project in crypto that you know and you can mention?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the crypto, I think the public goods is like some open source program because everyone can use it and it's open source and like the education resources and some
Mhm.
tools for developing and the open source coding kits. This is
Mhm.
all the crypto public goods because they are like the infrastructure of all the crypto and if people don't have it, people just have to make money. So all the things will lose the meaning to do this.
Is, for example, Ether type of public good, the Ethereum Foundation, the research?
Yeah, research like the knowledge is a very big public goods. because like when we talking about public goods, it's yeah, so they are not very easy to make money. So that's why we want to donate to it or to do some contribution to it.
So, how is the public goods scenery in crypto now in China? Do you find difficult to find good projects, or is it challenging because there are many good projects, many competitive, or how is the scene there?
Yes, because when we talking about funding public goods in China, it can be tricky. China usually the governments provide all the public goods.
Okay.
Yeah, so but to the crypto thing,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, China is not very supportive to the crypto in the general way. China has a very strict regulations around the crypto space, especially when it comes to money movements. Funding
Is it
public goods
strict, you
through
mean? China is very strict?
it is
Like taxation or like regulation doesn't allow you to do a lot of trading or in general.
yeah. So funding public goods through public donations or joins is more challenging. So since public goods don't usually offer direct financial returns, people often just more inclined to invest in projects with short-term gains. So this is making it harder to get funds for things that benefit the community but aren't immediately profitable.
Okay, because they don't get the profit. That's the key.
Yeah,
That's the key word. If you don't have the profit, then it's hard to do this type of projects. Oh, okay. So basically, you are having a bit of a hard time now in China to fund public goods in crypto, or
we translate the book, the GreenPilled,
huh?
this book. It
Yeah.
is want to spread the idea, the public goods into China because we want more people realize how important it is and
Mhm.
more people can make some contribution to it. Yeah, because it's very easy to make money in crypto, but when you do lots of DeFi or other projects in this world, people should not ignore the fundamental things like the infrastructure things.
Mhm.
So we want to encourage people to do more contribution to this part, and at the
Community as
same
well.
time, yeah, we want to donate some money like the Gitcoin or other community to use the crypto way to support the public goods in this world.
But I was very curious when you told me like you're doing this in China, and honestly, I thought China is very centralized in that sense. Having public goods in crypto, which means like decentralization, I wasn't so sure how it will fit with the country itself. But yeah, what about this book that you translated? Can people, is it like open source? Like people can download it easily in Mandarin, in Chinese,
Yes,
or they need to buy it? Like how it works?
it's open source, it's free. Yeah, because we have lots of community and
Mhm.
we have a very good relationship. Even we are just on train
Mhm.
to do all this translation thing, but we will put some books like to publish and just give it free to another broader communities. When other community members going through this community, they can just free to read all these contents so they can benefit from it.
Yeah, that's very good. And I think people, like, for example, Network State of Balaji, he has it like open source it so people can read it for free. But he also have the Kindle version on Amazon so people can buy that. And believe it or not, on Amazon, it was like bestseller. Although people can download.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. I was so surprised. If you can download for free, why you need to buy? I thought, but yeah, it's a
Yeah, maybe this is a way that people show their support to the
support.
biology.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So maybe you can do the similar thing for your book as well. So people can
Yeah.
support your book. Yeah. Now you're also doing like DeSci. This is very interesting for me. Decentralized science. What are you exactly doing with this? Are you working on community, or are you working on business development, or you what is your role basically?
Yeah, I basically do the community parts because I joined the two community. One is called
Mhm,
the DeSci Asia because I want to combine all the Asians community to do the decentralized science.
mhm,
And yeah, when the And this is a report on the Gitcoin DeSci because they can know all the progress that's all around the world. So in the report, it says, and this is a map, and like the over 60 or 70 percentage, the design projects, they all happened in the America and
Mhm.
very few in the Asia parts.
Oh,
So
that's so
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, so that's why we want to do the community to gather
Mhm.
together all the Asian power together to do the design thing because I think the community power is more strong than the isolated people.
So can I ask you something? So if I am based in Asia and I am a researcher or scientist, let's say in AI and medical field, I can publish this on DeSci or Gitcoin DeSci, and then people can vote or people can support my projects directly without needing to go for approval. That's
Yeah.
how it works, or
Yes, this is a way that happened in Vita DAO, which is a DAO that focus on the longevity research, and they have a new way to support the idea, like you said,
Mhm.
and it's like IP and NFT. If you like or you want to support this project or this research, you can buy part of the NFT.
Mhm.
In the past, the IP just owned by some big company, right? Or
Oh yeah,
some
the
yeah. So
digital
that yeah
ownership
that
basically now it can be a
yeah
digital ownership that this is your project, and instead of getting approval or money from big corporates, that they take the rights, right?
yeah
You, I think
absolutely
you can
yeah.
do it by yourself. Does this have like compliance issues? For example, if a project got the funds, for example, raised quite good amount from people, and then when they want to put it in the real life or they want to use it in real life cases, would the government accept this, or would the government be against, or some organization like regulatory, like FDA in USA, for example? How it works?
Oh, yeah. I think this is a very good question because I think raising money is the one part, but
Mhm.
apply to the reality is the second part. Yeah.
Mhm.
And the first, when we talking about the IP NFT, this is the first part to support the project or the research to
Mhm.
let them finish all this testing and the research parts. But to the apply stage, I think this is a more difficult stage because you have to face more the traditional
Mhm.
stress. Yeah, because the traditional knowledge is like the big company will persuade the government to
Mhm.
do this, so it can apply to more people.
Okay.
But if the design want to do this thing, I think they will get the more power to persuade all these traditional people to
Mhm.
let them know this is also the good. Yeah, we
Mhm.
just use the different way to apply it.
Yeah. How is now DeSci in China or in Asia from your experience? Is it growing? Do you see more good projects posted? And from this good project posted, how is the ratio of them being funded? Is it like a 100% success rate or lesser?
It's the important reason we want to do the Design Asia is we want to gather around the power and we want to let more projects be known over the whole world so they can include more the community members
Mhm.
to do the contribute and to can raise more money throughout this stage. Yeah. So that's why I also joined the Gitcoin DeSci
Mhm.
because Gitcoin DeSci this is a more worldwide organization and more bigger community, and we also do the DeSci round to raise money. Like the last round, we raised about 10,000 USDT to
Mhm.
the DeSci projects, and because I from the mainland China, so they also provide mainland support to
Ah,
the projects to apply. We can help them to apply. And in Gitcoin, we can use the QF method. This is
okay.
the quadratic method to raise funding. For example, if I support your idea to do the research, like the AI think against Asian, this report, And if I give you $10 and the Gitcoin will give you $40 to support you. It's if you raise several support from the community and the
Mm-hmm.
Gitcoin will give you another part
Mm-hmm.
fundraising to support your projects. So it's a very good way to let more people support you.
Okay. Does it have a screening process? Like for me, I'm not scientist, but if I would be, if I want to do a project and I want to apply to DeSci, what are the criterias? Like from Gitcoin, do they need to check some certain things? Do I need peer review, for example, or not?
Oh, the criteria is not like the traditional scientific thing
Mm-hmm.
because this is a very interesting project called the Moon Dog.
More as
Help
well. Yeah,
people,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, they want to
Yeah.
help people go to the moon, and this is also including the design part. So
Oh,
this is not, yeah, no peer-to-peer review like this.
yeah. There are different projects. That's pretty cool. And do you think the current system of science is failing and that's why you joined DeSci? Or what triggers you with DeSci? Like why it's important to you?
Yeah, because this is not just about putting science on train, it's about reshaping the entire scientific ecosystem. Because the traditional science is often controlled by centralized institutions and
Yes.
funding bodies. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to getting money and publishing papers and sharing results. So it's not exactly a system built for speed or openness.
Yeah. It takes so much time to get approved, and sometimes you fail, sometimes you succeed, and the challenges with traditional science are
Mm-hmm.
harder, I think, as compared to DeSci. And I'm very bullish on this side, and I think now we can see a flip of many different type of institution or how the way are working, like from banks, like central banks, to Bitcoin, from central control of science to DeSci, and I think we will have
Yeah, exactly.
many things.
Yeah, so this is why the design often a fresh solution just like Bitcoin. By
Mhm.
decentralizing research and funding, it takes the power and control away from just a few institutions and hence it's over to the global community.
Yeah,
This
it kind
thought
of
and trust
yeah,
control.
it
Yeah.
kind of gives like power to peer in that sense. Like I have a good idea, and then I let the community judge it is good or not, and they can fund it, rather than going through the challenge of, oh, please fund this or please do this and that. How long have you been in this industry, in crypto and everything? Is it like 10
Mhm.
years or something?
Not like 10 years, just 3 years. After I leave the Ali Health, I joined the crypto.
How do you find crypto? Is it something aligns with your values of life as well, or something you can recommend to other people to come and join crypto world?
Yeah. So I think when talking about crypto, I think the most important way is to find the most suitable path because because people have different backgrounds. Some people are very good at the project management,
Mm-hmm.
and some people want to help people, like to
Yeah.
connect people. Yeah, so they can bring people together because in crypto world there are so many crypto nomads, so
Yeah,
people are very lonely and isolated.
it's
So
true.
these people are very beneficial to connect different people together.
You have online friends now, which is a
Mhm.
bizarre concept, at least to my parents. I don't think they understand how you can have that. So,
Yeah, and the most important part of the crypto is decentralized open source and the contribution to the whole society
mhm.
and the cypherpunk. Because when you realize how important this concept is, you can know the truly meaningful part of the Bitcoin
Mhm.
and all these crypto things. Yeah, because I think the crypto world is it's changed very much. Yeah,
Mhm.
like people have to learn lots of things every day, like every new conception comes every day. So
Yeah.
if people don't understand why we want to do this, maybe they cannot exist very well.
Mhm.
Maybe they just can't go. They say, oh, it's very interesting, but I don't know what they happen actually. So they will go to the traditional way. Yeah. So that's why I want to recommend people just to read some basic books like the
Mhm.
white paper of the Bitcoin. That's why people have to keep their freedom to protect their privacy. And Bitcoin is a very good way to do this.
I totally agree and have similar ideas with you. I have been in crypto now for some years, and I never
Oh,
uh,
that's cool.
understood how fast the industry was going. And I was trying to keep up with newsletters and reading, and I failed on that. So I joined Farcaster last year, and
Mm.
on Farcaster, I could experience one on one the products, the service right away. And then I'm like, okay, this is how crypto should be. Like, you should experience and test the product or service. Otherwise, you cannot fully understand crypto very well. I see that with my parents as well. Like, it's hard to make them use crypto or understand crypto, both. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get the most important point is to pick the right project. So if you are a developer or designer, there are lots of DAOs or decentralized apps, the apps that can use to your skills. And
Mhm.
there are many open source projects and funding opportunities on platform like Gitcoin.
Yeah.
So yeah, so people can join some community and to and
To
to
learn. Yeah.
yeah to learn to cooperate with other people.
Yeah. Just use
Yeah.
the products basically. Just give it a try. And
Yeah, start small and build it up.
yeah, I think I
Yes.
will use this. Yeah. It was so nice chatting with you, Tuwan. And by the way, why your name is Tuwan?
Yeah, it has some connection with the Japanese because my Chinese name is Twone.
How do you pronounce it? Like in Japanese, if I say two is ni and one is ichi, so nichi,
Oh,
something like that.
it's not about the pronunciation. It's about a writer I most favorite in Japan.
Ah, like
Yeah,
Jumanji, you mean?
his name is Yi. I don't know how to say in Japanese, but he says his name is the simplest words in these words. So it can very easy for people to remember it, and I want to keep it simple to the big words because there are so many complicated things. I really want to keep it simple. Bitcoin is
There.
very simple, but it's very
Oh, no,
sustainable.
thank you for
I
sharing.
really like it. Yeah, and it's very similar name to my Chinese name.
Hmm. So you use this as a nickname for crypto world as well, I think, or everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah, I
Yeah.
give this name to myself. I'm 12 years old.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
so cool to give yourself a name. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for your time
much.
today and for chatting with me and getting to understand like genomes and Baba knowledge base map and then crypto and DeSci and so on.
Yeah, thank you. It's very pleasure for me to talk with you.
Yeah,
And I really appreciate what you're doing here.